Now, if you've been around crypto long enough, you've seen hundreds of stories come and go, and at Summit we're always looking for new opportunities and what narratives are driving the market. This year we're watching Ondo very closely, and Ondo isn't interesting because RWAs are the future. Ondo is interesting because the numbers say that this market already exists and access is getting turned on. If we just look at this dashboard here, you can see that RWA.xyz is tracking $21.34 billion in distributed tokenized real-world assets right now, and a much larger $350 billion represented value across what's being tracked. So the question isn't will tokenization happen, it's who becomes the on-chain distributor layer for it, and that's the Ondo bet. Most people still describe Ondo like it's just tokenized treasuries, but Ondo is building a stack. It has tokenized yield products, yes, but it's also launched Ondo Global Markets, which Ondo itself describes as giving 24/7 access to 100 plus tokenized US stocks and ETFs. This matters because it changes what you're buying exposure to. The bull case isn't people want yield, the bull case is Ondo is trying to be the gateway that brings public markets on-chain. Now here's the cleanest proof that this isn't theoretical. On RWA.xyz, tokenized US treasuries is sitting around $9.16 billion in total value. That's not future adoption, that's current allocation behavior. So when people ask why would tokenized stocks matter, the answer is because capital has already proven it will hold regulated cash-like instruments on-chain when the wrapper makes sense. Treasuries are step 1, public equities and ETFs are the obvious step 2. Now this is one of the parts that most people miss. In crypto, a product doesn't matter until distribution turns on, and Blockworks covered Ondo launching tokenized stocks and ETFs on Ethereum and explicitly called out Trust Wallet integration expanding access. And the Yahoo Finance release also lists infrastructure wallet partners like Trust Wallet, Ledger Live, BitGo and more. And this is why we're bullish this year, because the market move from a tokenized product exists to a product is being plugged into places that users already are. That's the difference between a demo and a demand engine. To put everything more into perspective, here's the scale. Global stock market cap hit roughly $147.6 trillion in late 2025. Even if a tiny fraction of that shifts onto token rails over time, you're talking about a category that's multiple orders of magnitude bigger than most of crypto. And Ondo's positioning is basically, if the world tokenizes public markets, we want to be the on-chain access layer. And that's a serious thesis, and why we think Ondo isn't a normal altcoin bet. The thing is though, tokenized equities don't scale if regulators treat them like a loophole. This is why this matters. Ondo submitted a formal written roadmap to the SEC's crypto task force arguing for pathways to tokenized securities, including models interfacing with existing market infrastructure like DTC entitlements. You don't have to agree with every proposal. The point is, Ondo is doing the thing that most projects avoid, trying to build a lane that can survive contact with regulation. That reduces headline risk and increases the chance that real capital can actually touch this stuff. Now, this isn't we're bullish because BlackRock, but it does matter that on the same RWA dashboard ecosystem, BlackRock's tokenized liquidity fund, BUIDL, shows around $1.72 billion in total asset value. And that's the market normalizing the rails. When the rails normalize, the best positioned distributor players get re-rated. So here's how we're going to track this without guessing. First, you keep watching RWA growth, especially treasuries, because that's the proof of allocation layer. Second, you track distribution and product expansion for global markets, because that's the why this year catalyst layer. And third, you watch Ondo BTC on the weekly, because if Ondo is a real structural winner, it should start winning relative before it wins headlines. The bear case is simple. If regulators block the tokenized equities path, this slows down. If distributors don't stick and it stays niche, upside is capped. And if the market treats Ondo like a generic alt and the theme doesn't get traction, you'll see it in Ondo BTC. Overall, we're bullish Ondo this year because tokenized real-world assets are already a real market, tokenized treasuries are already a multi-billion-dollar on-chain, and Ondo is one of the few teams pushing the next unlock, public market access, while turning on distribution through major wallet rails and engaging regulators early. If that continues, Ondo doesn't need a mania phase, it just needs more capital to take the path that's already opening. If you did enjoy the video and you want to be part of the daily conversations we have about macro environments and all different types of markets, I'll leave a link for the free Discord down below. Our pro members also have access to our trading view indicators and a deeper insight from our technical and macro analysts. I'll leave a link to our X down below as well if you want to follow us on X for more insights. And if you did like the video, please leave a like and subscribe.